Let's begin today in a comfortable cross-legged position toward the front of our mats, allowing the eyes to softly shut, sitting up tall, starting to let go of the dream that you call your life. Let go of your stories, let go of your drama, let go of your bills, your desires, your wants, your needs, your expectations, all of those things, all of those distractions that are keeping you from your breath. Bring all of that awareness, all of that attention, all of that effort into your breath. With every inhale, sitting a little bit taller. Every exhale, letting your shoulders relax down away from your ears, your knees and sit bones get a little closer down to the earth. Inhaling in all the way down below your ribs, down into your diaphragm, down into your belly, all the way down to your root. Then exhaling and pushing out all that air, pushing your belly button back towards your spine, pushing out more air than you think you can. Inhaling in, feeling the fullness of your inhale. Exhaling it all out. Not trying to force your breath, but to allow your breath. So much of the work that we're going to do today is cultivating creativity. And the thing about creativity is when you try to force it, a lot of times it slips through your fingers, but when you can allow it, so often we can have those aha moments. So let this practice, let your breath be that quiet moment, that aha moment. That space in between. Whatever brought you to your mat today, whatever that creative thing is that you are trying to manifest, I want you to actually let it go for this next hour. Whether that's the intention for strength, flexibility, or that next great idea. So often, when we try to force these ideas to come, they won't, and we get blocks and blockages. But when we stop thinking about them and allow them, then we can find that aha moment. That moment of that fresh creativity, that fresh idea. So with that in mind, as we start to move through these standing asanas, I want you to always allow the asana. Not try to force it, not try to breathe a little shallower and a little quicker so you can go a little deeper, but to breathe long and breathe calm. Inhale the arms out to the side, all the way up into the sky, feeling that length. Hold the breath at the top. Bring the palms together and then exhale them down in between the eyes to your third eye. May your practice cultivate enlightened thoughts. Bring the hands in front of the mouth. May your practice cultivate enlightened speech and bring the hands in front of the heart. May all of your practices cultivate an enlightened heart. Reach down, grab your shins, change the crossing of your legs just to even out the body. Might feel a little strange, a little different. See if you can just relax into it. Place your hands, palms down on your knees. Take a big inhale in, shine the heart forward up into the sky. Inhale in as much as you can, let the belly drop. And then exhale, reverse the motion, pushing the center of your spine as far away from you as you can. Inhale, rolling forward like a wave, inhaling in, letting the belly spill out over the shins, and then exhale, reversing the motions, really pulling on those knees so you can let your shoulders fall. Inhale, rolling forward for seated cow, and exhale, rolling back. Take a few at the pace of your own breath, feeling those full inhales and full exhales. Feeling the breath in the spine warming up. And see if you can feel that connection to the roll of the whole upper torso as it's connected to your pelvis. As it tucks under when you exhale back and rolls forward as you inhale forward. connection to that movement, to that freedom and that allowance. And then slowly let the spine come back to neutral, sitting up nice and tall. And then place the hands on the earth, on the mat, out in front of you. Roll up over your hips and come into tabletop. The hands right underneath your shoulders, knees right under your hips. Push the tops of your feet down into the earth. Take a big inhale in, drop your belly. Get your shoulders down away from your ears. And then exhale, reversing the motions. The same motion when we were seated, but just a little more space. Inhaling in. And then exhaling it all out, pushing out all that old stale air. Inhale in one more time, drop the belly, get the shoulders down away from your ears, push the tops of your feet down, and then exhale it out, getting rid of all of that old stale air. And then slowly coming back to neutral. Tuck your toes back behind you, and slowly make your way to plank, reaching the heels back behind you. Hands right under your shoulders, spreading the fingers as wide as you can. Take a big inhale in. Exhale, taking your shoulders as far over your fingers as you can so that your elbows are right on top of your wrists, down to chaturanga. Inhale up to cobra, keeping a bend in the elbows. And then exhale back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Inhale forward to plank, feeling that length. And then exhale down to chaturanga. Inhale through and up, maybe straightening the arms, keeping the knees down on the earth. And then exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale forward to plank. Exhale, get those shoulders way out over the toes, down to chaturanga. Inhale forward and up, maybe upward facing dog, lift the knees. And then exhale back, downward facing dog. Take one more, the pace of your breath. Inhaling forward to plank, down to chaturanga. Inhale through and up. And then exhale, tuck the toes back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a few deep breaths, maybe bending one knee and then the other. Really spreading the fingers, getting the whole palm down on the earth. Letting the heart sink. Maybe walking the feet out to the edges of your mat in a nice wide-legged downward dog. Taking a few deep breaths. And then take a big inhale in, lift that right heel all the way up into the sky. Exhale it forward and through and come into the nice high lunge. Breathing deep, letting the hips sink. You can place that left knee down if you need to and untuck the toes. Otherwise, just keep trying to let those hips sink down to the earth. And notice what you're saying to yourself as you start to move through these more challenging postures. Are you being kind to yourself, being gentle to yourself, and allowing that space for creativity, not trying to force it, not trying to make it something, but just allowing it to be, allowing the hips to sink, allowing yourself to breathe. And everybody place that left knee down, untuck the toes. Take a big inhale in, coming up to the fingertips, shining the heart. And then exhale, flexing the right toes. Send the hips back. Inhale, rolling forward, shining the heart. Inhaling in as much as you can. Let the hips drop. And then exhale, rolling back, flexing the toes, crown of the head down. Inhale, rolling forward one more time. And this time as you exhale, tuck the toes back behind you. Still breathing deep. On an inhale, inhale the arms out in front of you. Exhale, keep your chest down on that thigh. Feeling that stability, inhale yourself up for crescent pose. You can put a little bend in that back knee so you can tuck the pelvis underneath you. And then reach that left heel back, feel it straightening. Pulling that right heel back towards you, gauging underneath that right thigh. Engage your core, take the rounding out of the spine, and breathe all the way through to the fingertips. Big inhale in. Exhale, bend just a little deeper. Big inhale in. And then as you exhale, take the left hand down on the inside of the right foot, right fingertips up into the sky. If you need to modify, take that left knee down, untuck the toes, still feeling that twist. Being kind to yourself, patient with yourself, allowing and not forcing. Otherwise, keep those left toes tucked, reaching the crown of the head, straight to where those right toes are pointing. Finding those same long inhales and long exhales. Take one more big inhale here. And then exhale, reach the hands out in front of you, chest down on that thigh. Exhale out all that air. On one big inhale, take the body forward and up. For Warrior 3, arms out in front of you, out to the side or at heart center. Flexing those left toes, gazing down at the earth, finding that balance. Breathing deep, finding that one spot at which to gaze. On an inhale, bring that left knee up into your chest. And then exhale all the way back to crescent pose. Moving with grace. Inhale forward. Bring that left knee up. Feel that breath. Feel that full inhale. Exhale gracefully back to crescent pose. Inhale forward one more time. Bring that knee up. And exhale back, crescent pose. Take one more big inhale. Exhale the hands down to the inside of that right foot. Place that left knee down if you need to. Coming down to the left forearm, maybe down to the right forearm. Letting that right hip open and relax. Feeling that work and that release. Trying to sink the heart down. Breathing deep. You can stay here, still reaching the heart down. If you'd like to try something a little different, it's going to open up that hip just a little bit more. Start to walk the left hands out to the left side. It's going to really open up the right hip. And think about getting your heart down to the earth, maybe coming down to your forearms. Get your heart a little closer. Breathing deep, releasing that right hip. And then slowly coming back to center, staying nice and low. Coming up to your hands. Tuck those left toes, send the right foot back to meet the left. Down through chaturanga, trying to get those elbows right over the wrists. Inhale up, upward facing dog. And then exhale back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a few deep breaths. Inhaling in through the nose. Hold the breath at the top. Open the mouth and sigh it out. Inhale in through the nose. Hold the breath at the top. Open the mouth and sigh it out. Inhale that left heel all the way up into the sky. Let the heart sink. Keep the shoulders parallel to the mat. And then exhale, bring it all the way forward. Sinking into the hips, allowing that length, finding that breath, finding that always that connection to your pelvic floor and where it's tucked, if it's sticking out to the left or to the right. See if you can find it right in the center. Allowing that deep breath, allowing the hips to sink. Reaching that right heel back behind you. You can come down to that right knee if you need to. If you need to modify and take a little bit more of a rest, otherwise just keep breathing. Reaching that right heel back. Keeping that leg as straight as you can. Finding those long inhales and long exhales. Finding that length. And then everybody place that right knee down, untuck the toes, take a big inhale coming up to the fingertips, shining the heart. And then exhale and rolling back. Inhale coming forward, shining the heart, roll the shoulders back, open the chest. And then exhale out all that air, getting the crown of your head down toward that big toe. Inhale rolling forward. And exhale rolling back. Inhale, rolling forward one more time. This time as you exhale, tuck those toes back behind you. heel lined up with that right hip, left heel with the left hip when you feel stable here. All the way up to crescent pose. Maybe putting a little bend in that knee so you can tuck the pelvis underneath you. Maybe coming down to that right knee if you just can't quite stay in it. Wherever you are, trying to get that right hip to come forward and engaging the core, take the rounding out of the spine. Bend a little more into that left knee, pull that left heel back toward you. One more big inhale here. And then exhale, place the right hand down on the inside of the left foot. Left fingertips up into the sky, still reaching that right heel back behind you. Come down to the knee if you need to, otherwise keep it reaching. Try to not let that left knee fall out too far to the left side. Try to keep it right on top of that left ankle so that you feel the length in the spine as well as the twist, maybe gazing up toward that left thumb. Big inhale in. And then exhale, reach the hands out in front of you, chest down on that thigh. Inhale forward and up, and find your way up. To warrior 3, hands out in front of you, heart center, out to the sides, wherever you can find your balance. Breathing deep, finding that one spot at which to gaze. Take a big inhale in, bring that right knee all the way up into your chest. Standing up tall. And then exhale, take that foot all the way back, all the way to crescent pose. Inhale forward and up. Bring that right knee all the way up. And then exhale back, crescent pose. Inhale forward and up. Feeling that length, pulling that knee in. And then exhale all the way back, crescent pose. A big inhale in, feeling that length, tucking the pelvis under you. And then exhale the hands down inside of that left foot. Come down to that right knee if you need to. Otherwise, keep that right heel reaching. Come down to the right forearm, left forearm. Stopping anywhere along the way, being kind to yourself, being patient with yourself. And start walking the hands a little bit to the right, letting the heart sink down toward the earth, really letting that left leg open. Feeling that hip opening, allowing that space, allowing that breath. Breathing deep. And know that all of that stuff that is coming up, all of the tightness in your hip, all of the tightness in your thoughts, all of those worries, those wants, those needs. That's everything that your creativity has to work through to show up. All that stuff, all those issues, all that drama, that's everything that your ideas, your art, it's everything that your subconscious, that creative imagination has to work through in order just to manifest itself. The more that you can get you out of your own way, the more that creativity will come flowing through, will come a little easier, your breath will come a little easier, the ideas will come a little easier. It all comes with patience and being kind to yourself. Slowly walk the hands back to center. Place them down on the earth, tuck those right toes, send the left foot back to meet the right, down through your vinyasa. And this time, just let the knees be nice and wide, big toes together, send the hips back, and come into child's pose. Take a few deep breaths, connecting the forehead down to the earth, relaxing the hips back towards your heels. If you ever feel disconnected from your practice, disconnected from your breath, then please come here, take a few deep breaths, reconnect with the floor, reconnect with your body, reconnect with your breath. And remember that yoga is not about trying hard. It's about trying easy. It's about pushing yourself right to that line of no return, but not beyond it. And having the patience and the knowledge that when you come back tomorrow, that line will be just a little bit further away. It's all about allowance, not forcing, not killing ourselves to get to where we want to be, but allowing ourselves to get where we want to be. And know that you can come here anytime, reconnect. So with that in mind, as we start to move through our standing series, we need to always keep this space, this breath in mind. So as you're ready, make your way back up through tabletop. Tuck the toes, send the hips up and back, and come into downward facing dog. Inhale that right heel all the way up into the sky. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale that right heel up and back. Exhale, right knee to that left elbow. Engage the core. Take a few deep breaths. Try to get that knee all the way up into your armpit. Inhale that right heel up and back. Exhale the right knee up into that right armpit. Try to get it as high as you can, engaging the core. And then softly placing it down near that right hand. Feeling that stability, feeling the strength in your lunge. Inhale yourself back up to crescent pose. Take a big inhale here. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Take the left elbow on the outside of the right thigh. If you need to come down to that left knee, please do so. Being careful with yourself, being kind to yourself. Maybe reaching those left fingertips down, right fingertips up into the sky. And then if you almost have that left shoulder blade on that right knee, you can take that right arm behind your back and the left arm underneath the thigh. Breathing deep wherever you are. Finding those long inhales and long exhales. Take one more big breath in. And then as you exhale, reach the hands out in front of you. Inhale up to crescent pose. Breathing deep, start to reach the left hand down in between your shoulder blades, and then grab that left elbow with the right hand. Start to bend into the left knee, and then lean the torso to the right. It's going to open up the whole left side of the body, the left psoas, and then lean it back as much as you can. Breathing deep, finding those same long inhales and long exhales. Take one more big inhale here. And then exhale, straighten that right leg. Reach the left hand out in front of you and the right arm back behind you. Take a big inhale in, exhale it out. Now as we inhale, I want you to take the arms all the way back to Peaceful Warrior. Place that back heel down, right arm all the way up into the sky. Take a big inhale in, and then exhale, coming all the way back to that twisting crescent pose. Get that left heel up off the earth. Inhale back, Peaceful Warrior. And then exhale, twisting crescent. Inhale back, Peaceful Warrior. And then exhale, twisting crescent. From twisting crescent, take a big inhale, reach the arms straight up. Place that left heel down. Inhale, straighten that front right leg. Exhale, the torso parallel to the earth. Left hand on the inside of that right foot, right fingertips up into the sky. Parivrita Trikonasana. Twisting triangle. Trying to get the hips parallel to the front of your mat. Straightening out that right leg as much as you can. Reaching the crown of the head right to where those right toes are pointing. Take one more big inhale here. And then exhale. Open yourself all the way back up into Peaceful Warrior. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Exhale, reach those right fingertips as far as you can down toward the shin. Peace grip around those toes. Earth, reach the left fingertips up. Trikonasana. Pushing that big toe down, tucking that right hip underneath you. Try to keep that right leg as straight as you can. Breathing deep. And then slowly bending into that right knee, reach the right fingertips on the outside of the right foot. See if you can slowly bring that left foot in and up for half moon. So reaching those left fingertips up, right fingertips down toward the earth, gazing at that one spot, breathing deep wherever you are. And then slowly let the left hand take the place of the right. This might feel a little strange coming into Parivrita Trikonasana. Parivrita. Twisting half moon. Getting that left heel as high as you can. Straightening both legs. One more big inhale. Exhale that right heel hand down. Get the left heel just a little higher up into the sky. In standing splits. And then send that left foot all the way back. Right foot back to meet the left. Down through your vinyasa. Inhale up. And then exhale back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Big inhale in through the nose. Hold the breath at the top. Open the mouth and sigh it out. Inhale in through the nose. Inhale in as much as you can. Hold the breath at the top. Open the mouth and sigh it out. Take a few deep breaths. Starting to prepare your mind, your breath, your body for the other side. You know where we're heading. So see if you can think about the transitions in between each of our poses. Finding the grace and the breath between each posture. And remembering that the transitions are just as important as the poses. The journey is just as important as the goal. Inhale that left heel all the way up into the sky. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale that left heel all the way up and back. Sink the heart, sink the right heel. Exhale the left knee to the right elbow. Try to get it up into that right armpit. Breathing deep, engaging the core. Inhale that left heel all the way up and back. Exhale the left knee over to that left elbow. Try to get it all the way up into that armpit. Engage the core, breathing deep. And softly place that left foot down near the left hand. Be sure that the right heel is lined up with the right hip. Left heel with the left hip. Take a big inhale in. Exhale, drop the hips just a little bit more. Feel that stability. And then inhale up to crescent pose. Breathing deep. Your breath will be your best friend to get you through this other side. Big inhale in. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Take that right elbow on the outside of the left thigh. Pushing down with that left hand. Try to get your hands to heart center, reaching that right heel back behind you. Maybe coming down to that knee if you need a little bit of a modification. Breathing deep, maybe reaching those right fingertips down, left fingertips up. Maybe behind the back, underneath for that bind. Wherever you are, trying to allow the breath to expand below your rib cage, down into your diaphragm. Breathing deep. One more big inhale. And then exhale, reach the arms out. Inhale up. Crescent pose. Start to bring that right hand down in between the shoulder blades. Hold on to that right elbow with the left hand. Lean toward the left. Come down to that right knee if you need to. Be kind to yourself. Breathing deep. Leaning the torso to the left. And a little bit back behind you, opening up that whole right side of the body. Breathing wherever you are. Being kind to yourself, patient with yourself. Take one more big inhale. And then as you exhale, reach that right arm forward and the left arm back behind you. Breathing deep here. Exhale it all out. Take an inhale and go all the way back. Peaceful warrior, placing that right heel down, bending generously into that left knee. I know that left leg's on fire. Exhale, coming forward, twisting crescent. Inhale, heading back. Get your breath loud enough that it gets your attention. Exhale, coming forward. Inhale, heading back. Exhale, coming forward one more time. And this time as you inhale, come up for warrior one. Exhale, bend a little bit more into that front leg. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Oh, thank you. And then exhale, parallel to the earth. Right hand down, left fingers up into the sky. Breathing deep. Tucking that left hip underneath you as much as you can. Engaging both of your quads, reaching the crown of your head, straight to where those left toes are pointing. Maybe gazing up toward that left thumb. Breathing deep. Take one more big inhale. And then exhale, cartwheel the arms all the way back to peaceful warrior. Inhale, straighten that front leg. And then exhale, Trikonasana. Left hand as far out as it'll go. Down toward the shin, peace grip around those toes. Down on the earth. Right fingers up into the sky. Breathing deep, tucking that left hip underneath you. Trying to take the curve out of your spine so you can get that left hand a little lower, maybe coming up a little bit so that your spine is nice and straight. Breathing deep. And then slowly bending into that left knee, reach the left hand to the outside of the left foot. Bring that right foot in as much as you need to find your way up to half moon. Flexing those right toes, pointing them over to the right side. Spreading the fingers on both hands. Breathing deep. Slowly let that right hand take the place of the left. Reach the left fingertips up. We're almost there. Stay with your breath. Stay with that allowance. Working through all these things that keep your creativity from thriving. One more breath in. Exhale, take that left hand down. Get that right heel a little higher up into the sky. You are the master of your body, not the other way around. Breathe a little deeper. And then exhale, send that right foot all the way back. Left foot back to meet the right. Down through your vinyasa. Inhale up. And exhale back to child's pose. Relax the forehead down on the earth. Breathing deep. Well-deserved child's pose. Taking a few deep inhales. Long exhales. Saying thank you to your body for all of its hard work. Saying thank you to your breath. As we start to cool down, some thoughts may start to come in. Some worries, responsibilities. See if you can just tell them to give you a few more minutes. Do a couple more strength exercises and hip openers. And then we will be down on the mat, releasing and relaxing. Being kind to yourself. Notice what you're saying to yourself right now. Are they words of kindness and gratitude and affirmation? Are they words of anger and stress? It's amazing how when we're kind to ourselves, our body responds. And when we are cruel to ourselves, our body responds. So be kind to yourself as we start to move through a little bit more work on either side. Slowly coming back up through tabletop. Send the hips up and back, coming into downward facing dog. Send that right heel all the way up into the sky. Point the toe, let it fall over to the side. Stay here, come into Kamatkatasana, the wild thing. Reaching that right heel down to the earth, keeping that left leg straight. Right arm down toward the earth. Opening up the right side of the body. Take one more inhale wherever you are. Bring that right hand back. Send that right heel all the way up into the sky. Exhale forward and through, coming into the lunge. Start to straighten that front leg. Take a breath in pyramid, and then place that left heel down. Bring the right toes in, parallel to the left, and come in between your legs on your mat. Breathing deep, reaching the crown of the head down toward the earth. Letting your weight transfer slightly toward the balls of your feet. And start to reach the right hand toward the right ankle. If you can grab that ankle, then great. Reach the left arm up into the sky. Otherwise, just keep reaching over to that left side. Maybe even just keeping the hand down on the earth. Breathing deep. Take one more breath. Bring that left hand down, send it over toward the right toes. Maybe that right ankle. Reach the right arm up into the sky. Feeling that twist, feeling that hip opening. Try to not let that right hip fall too far to the right. Keep it parallel to the earth. One more breath in. And then exhale, sink down. Let the torso be heavy. You can shake the head yes, shake the head no. Trying to reach the crown of the head down. Feeling the whole back release. Feeling the weight of your head. Transferring the weight toward the balls of your feet. Bring the hands to your hips. Keeping the back flat. Slowly inhale yourself up to standing. Bring your heels in toward each other so your toes are facing out. Bend into your knees into goddess or horse. Interlace the hands behind your head. Take a big inhale in. Exhale down over the right knee. Inhale through center. Exhale down over the left. Inhale through center. Exhale down to the right. Take the right hand down toward the earth. Left fingertips up into the sky. Try to not let that left knee collapse too far in. Keep that hip reaching out, opening up the hips. Take another breath. Exhale it out. On an inhale, keep the arms out, coming up to center. Exhale, bend a little deeper. Inhale that right heel up. Exhale it down. Inhale that left heel up. Exhale it down. Inhale both heels up. Take 3 long breaths. Bending just a little deeper down with every exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, straighten the legs. Relax down in between the legs. Start to walk over toward the right toes. Turn the right toes out. Bend into that knee. Start to send the right foot toward the left hand. Right knee down toward the earth. Left toes reaching back behind you. Come into a nice pigeon prep. Coming down to the forearms. Flexing those right toes. Maybe down toward the earth. Placing the forehead down. Reaching the fingers out in front of you. Relaxing, releasing. If this is a little too much on that right leg and you'd like to bring the left knee up to that right foot, a nice modified pigeon, still works on the same hip release in that right hip. Just a little less intense. Might feel a little better on the hips. I'm going to be here for just a little while, releasing and relaxing. Being kind to our hips, kind with our thoughts, kind with our breath. Breathing long, breathing deep. Notice what thoughts are coming up. Are they encouraging? Are they kind? Are you allowing or forcing? So often we think that in order to have a great idea or a great accomplishment, we have to work ourselves to death in order to get there. When so often it's what some people call the shower moment. You're taking a shower and you're just enjoying the hot water and And then suddenly, the best idea you have ever had just pops up. Something you've been trying to figure out for months and you haven't been able to release or let go. And you're just taking a shower and, there it is. That idea just solved everything. It's amazing how that can be reflected in the body, reflected back in the mind. When we can allow space and allow release and allow these ideas instead of forcing. When we force something is when we cause frustration and injury. We focus on lack and negativity. When we can allow something, then it happens with positivity, and it happens in a way that sticks around with longevity. So be kind to yourself. Allow a little more release in that right hip. Allow a little more relaxation in the breath. And then slowly, as you're ready, tuck those left toes back behind you, coming up to your hands. Send that right foot all the way up and back. Release that hip however you need to. And then place it down next to the left. Inhale that left heel up into the sky. Point the toe, let it fall over to the side. Stay here, reaching that knee up into the sky. Or reach that left foot down toward the earth, keeping that right leg nice and straight. Kamatkatasana, reaching those left fingers down toward the earth, pushing down with that left heel to get those hips just a little bit higher. One more big inhale, and then bring that left hand back, get that left heel all the way up into the sky. And exhale it forward and through, straightening that front left leg. Taking a moment in pyramid, letting the heart and head sink. And then placing that right heel down, bring the left toes in. Come in between your legs. Breathing deep. This time interlace your hands behind your low back. And start to kiss your shoulder blades together and get your pinkies down toward the earth, crown of your head. Releasing and relaxing. Breathing deep. With every exhale, finding a little more length in the back, a little more weight in the head. With every inhale, reaching your heart a little closer down. With every exhale, get those pinkies just a little closer to the earth. And keeping the hands interlaced with a flat back, inhale yourself up to standing. Bring your heels in toward each other. Bend into the knees. Release the hands and interlace them behind the head. Take a big inhale in. Exhale, left elbow down to left knee. Inhale through center. Exhale the right elbow down. Inhale through center. Exhale the left elbow. Reach those left fingertips, right fingertips up into the sky. Try to not let that right knee collapse in. Keep it reaching out to the right. Breathing deep. Keep the arms as they are, and on an inhale, come up to horse. Inhale to center. Exhale, sink the hips down. Inhale that left heel up. Exhale it down. Inhale that right heel up. Exhale it down. Inhale both heels up. Breathe deep. Find those long inhales. Exhale, sink the hips a little deeper. One more big inhale. Exhale, straighten the legs, relaxing down. Feel the weight of the torso. Maybe interlacing the arms, grabbing opposite elbows. Rock from side to side. And then as you're ready, make your way over to that left leg. Turn those left toes out. Bend into that left knee. Come through the lunge. Left hand, left foot over to the right hand. Place that knee down. Reach that right foot as far back behind you as you can, or bring it in, that knee to that left foot in a nice pigeon prep. And then trying to keep your shoulders right over in between that left knee and left toes. Flex the left toes and make your way down. Stopping anywhere along the way where you can still feel the length in the low back, the relaxation in that hip. Remembering to be kind to yourself and patient with yourself. Finding those long inhales and long exhales. And remembering that it's not by killing ourselves, it's not by forcing ourselves that we find the change. That we find that space, find that creativity, find that new idea. It's with allowance, understanding, patience. Be kind to yourself, patient with yourself. With every thought, finding a little more space in that hip. With every thought, finding a little deeper breath. With every thought, finding one more gratitude, one more kind thing to say to yourself. It's been said so many times, and yet it is so true. How can we expect others to love us until we can learn to love ourselves? So love your hip. Even if your hip is so tight you can barely even feel the earth right now. Love it. Maybe it's so loose that you have your shin up to your eyebrows. Love it. Love where you are, not where you're going. I've been thinking a lot recently about finding answers. And we ask all these questions. And we ask them because we think we're ready for all the answers. We think we're ready to be so ridiculously flexible that we have no trouble and no worries. We think that we're ready to know everything. But oftentimes when we try to reach for these things before we are ready, then we cause injury. We cause frustration. We cause mental blocks. We cause frustration, stress. So be kind to yourself and know that when you're ready, that space will happen. The leg will release a little bit more. The answers you've been searching for will be a little bit clearer. Be where you are now, because you're exactly where you are supposed to be. Ever so slowly coming back up to your hands. Tuck those right toes back behind you. Slowly send that left heel all the way up and back, releasing that hip if ever you need to. Let the left foot come down to meet the right. Take an inhale in, turn the gaze forward, step or float to the front of your mat. Inhale halfway up, feeling that length, tucking the chin, and exhaling, folding down, feeling the length in the spine. Heel toe your feet out to the edges of your mat. Nice wide-legged forward fold. You can grab a peace grip around those toes, pulling yourself in, maybe sliding your hands underneath your feet. Just breathing deep wherever you are. Then release your hands, turn your toes out, send your hips down in a nice squat. Bring your elbows right to your knees. Be sure your knees aren't collapsing into your armpits. Sitting up as tall as you can, bringing the hands to heart center. Really feeling those hips release. You can rock from side to side if that's available to you. And if you'd like, you can place the hands down and have a little fun and crow. Bringing the knees up over the elbows, one toe at a time, lifting them up off the earth. Or you can stay in a nice little squat. Beautifully done. And then as you're ready, let your hips come down to the earth. Bring your knees up into your chest, floating up off those toes. Let your shins come up parallel to the earth, hands right behind the knees. And then maybe straighten the legs and release the hands, or release the hands, keep the knees bent. Wherever you can, find that nice boat. Feeling those long inhales and long exhales. Take a big inhale in, exhale to reclined boat, just a few inches off the earth. Inhale up, reach for those toes. Exhale, recline. Inhale up, one more time. Exhale, reclined. Keeping everything except for those tailbones off the earth. Start to reach the right heel up into the sky. Flexing the left toes, flexing the right toes. Switch the legs. Breathing deep, reaching for those left toes. And then reach the right heel up to meet the left. Breathing deep, reaching the fingertips down toward the toes, getting the shoulders and head up off the earth. Engaging your core, finding those long inhales and long exhales. Take one more big inhale in. And then exhale, bring the knees up into your chest. Place the feet down, hip distance apart. Push the heels down into the earth, lift the hips up into the sky. Tucking one shoulder blade and then the other, interlacing the hands underneath you. Taking a few deep breaths. Staying here, opening up the front of the body, or placing the hands underneath the shoulders and pushing yourself up for Urdhva Dhanurasana. Letting those abs go, letting them release. Feeling those long inhales and long exhales. Trying to keep the feet parallel, keeping the knees reaching in toward each other. And wherever you are, slowly lowering down one vertebra at a time, bringing the knees up into your chest. If you're inverting today, then go ahead and send your feet up over your head and balls of your feet down toward the earth. Coming into plow. If you're not inverting today, just bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees fall out to the side. Right hand to your heart, left hand to your belly, Supta Baddha Konasana. If you've come back for plow, you'd like to make your way up to shoulder stand. Finding a little stillness in your inversion. Breathing deep. Be sure that there's no weight in your head or neck. It's all in your elbows and shoulders. If you're in Supta Baddha Konasana, feel the weight of your knees, opening your hips down toward the earth. Feel your heartbeat under your right hand and the rise and fall of your belly with every breath. Slowly, if you've come up for shoulder stand, making your way through plow, death man's pose, balancing your knees on your forehead, rolling down, find your way to happy baby. If you're in Supta Baddha Konasana, bring your feet up. Everybody come into happy baby with the knees on the elbows on the inside of the knees, hands on the outsides of the feet. And then keeping the right leg where it is, start to straighten the left leg out onto the earth, flexing the toes back toward you, coming into half happy baby. Really start to pull that right knee down toward the earth, right next to that right armpit, feeling the hip opening. Relaxing that right shoulder down. And then bring that left leg up into happy baby and extend the right leg out. Feeling the difference that makes in the connection in the hips. That hip releasing, relaxing. Finding those long inhales and long exhales. And then bring both knees up into your chest. Give yourself a well-deserved hug. You can rock from side to side, releasing the low back. Breathing deep. Extending. Actually placing that left foot down on the earth, keeping that left knee bent. Start to straighten the right leg. Holding on to it wherever you may, behind the thigh, calf. Maybe peace grip around those toes. Just feeling that right hip really let go, straightening that right leg as much as you can. Pulling it back toward you. Taking a few deep breaths, closing the eyes, feeling that hip release. Being kind to yourself, patient with yourself. Feeling the release in that hip. Breathing deep. Finding those long inhales and long exhales. Being kind to yourself and patient with yourself. Letting that right hip release and relax as much as you can, still holding it up into the sky. And we can give ourselves a little extended period of time, and we can feel just a little more release. Find a little more space. And then slowly let that right foot head down to meet the left. And then straighten the left leg up into the sky. Holding onto it behind that thigh, knee, calf. Maybe holding onto the toes. Letting that hip release and relax. See if you can feel it right from the third and fourth toe running through the bottom of your foot, down the back of your leg, back of your knee, down through your glute. It's a slightly different part of our leg that we're not so used to getting into. Closing the eyes, breathing deep, letting the head, neck, and shoulders relax. Finding that breath. Feeling the back of your heart pushing down into the earth. Feeling the flex all the way through those left toes. Feeling that left shoulder down away from the left ear. Breathing deep. The mind starts to wander, wandering around. See if you can find one more place to lengthen, and then one more spot to relax. And slowly bring both your knees up into your chest. Hugging that right leg in, let the left leg straighten out onto the earth. Hold on to that right knee with the left hand and pull it over the body. Straighten that right leg if you would like. Reaching for the toes with the left fingers. And or maybe bend that left knee, reaching for the top of the left foot with the right hand. Just going to change the twist, change the opening a little bit more. And that very last vertebra, it's so hard to get to. Trying to keep that right shoulder down on the earth. Finding those same long inhales and long exhales. And then slowly bringing the knees back up into your chest. Hold on to that left knee, the right hand. Let the right leg straighten out and pull the left knee over the body. Either reaching that knee down toward the earth, straightening that left leg, maybe bending that bottom right knee, reaching for the top of that right foot. All just little ways to find a little more space, a little more release in that very last vertebra that's so hard to get to. Yet so much of our pressure is put on that very last, final spot in our back. Feel that releasing just a little more with every breath. And then slowly bring both knees up into your chest one last time. Give yourself a final well-deserved hug. And then extend your legs out. In our final Shavasana. Let your toes fall away from each other. Feel the hips relax. Palms facing up, tucking one shoulder blade and then the other. Pushing the crown of the head away from the rest of your body. If your tongue is attached to the roof of your mouth, see if you can let it go, creating a little more freedom for your air to move through. Feeling the weight of your bones. The weight of every cell in your body. Sinking down, supported by the earth. And if you'd like to cultivate a little bit of extra creativity, I want you to picture an orange wheel spinning right in the center of your pelvis. Spinning so quickly that it sends off little flecks of orange all the way through your body, through your nervous system, through your blood, through your breath. Feel your whole body and consciousness glowing with this orange energy. And then allow that orange energy to extend out to wherever it might be needed. Just allowing that creativity to flow. Not forcing it to go anywhere in particular. Allowing it to go to someone that you care about. And allowing it to go to you. Allowing yourself just to breathe. Allowing yourself just to be. slowly allow your awareness to come back. Creating a little bit of motion, rolling your wrists, your ankles, your knees, your elbows, shoulders, hips, stretching your arms up above you like you're waking up from the best dream. And then keeping the eyes softly shut, rolling onto one side or the other. Find your way back to that same comfortable cross-legged position in which we started class. Being patient with yourself, being kind with yourself. Sitting up tall, feeling those long inhales and long exhales. See if you're sitting a little easier, if your breath is coming a little calmer, and if your thoughts seem just a little bit further apart. Inhale the arms out to the side, all the way up into the sky. Hold the breath at the top. Bring the energy together, the creativity together, and your palms together up above you. Exhale it all down in between your eyes to the third eye. May your life be filled with enlightened thoughts. Bring the hands in front of the mouth. May you always have the patience for enlightened speech. Bring the hands in front of the heart. May your heart have the healing it requires to live an enlightened life. Namaste. Thank you all so much for allowing me to guide you. It was a wonderful class, wonderful energy. For those of you here at Omega Collektiv, this wonderful artist space, there is a donation bag in the back. If you would like to leave something, it's much appreciated. And for those of you watching at home at freeyoga.tv, there is a donation button on your screen. No amount is too small and is greatly appreciated so that we can continue to bring yoga to anyone and everyone around the world. And just remember that change doesn't happen just with the time that we spend on our mats. Change happens with every conscious breath that we take in our lives. So as always, peace be with you all.